Jonathan was absolutely awesome. To the point, made sense, kept everybody's attention, and what he said is absolutely usable.
Inspiring. Awesome.
You can take it to the bank. He was awesome, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
About learning how to manage your marshmallows. Here's what I mean. In 1974, Walter Mischel did what is called the Stanford Marshmallow Experiment. For those of you who've never seen this, please make sure you YouTube it in your room tonight. It is hilarious. But let me break it down. There was only 3 things in this room. There was a large room with just mirrors. There was a table, a chair, and 1 marshmallow on it. They sat some 4-year-olds right in front of the marshmallow. And they told the child, don't you eat the marshmallow while I'm gone. I'm going to leave for about 15 minutes. But if you could just hold off for about 15 minutes, when you get back, I'll give you 2 marshmallows. And I'll double your marshmallow fortune. Well, of course, when they left, about 40% of the kids, as soon as the door was closed, they said, oh! Ate the marshmallow. About another 40% took some time, you know, they were looking at the marshmallow, they were talking to it, one of them was like kissing it, telling it stories. One kid was pounding his leg and pulling out his hair, anything he could just so he could pass time. But then they too ate the marshmallow. Then there were about 10% who never ate the marshmallow. 10%. They said, okay, what does this mean? They waited another 10 years. And they looked at those kids who had not eaten the marshmallows. They discovered that the 10% who had not eaten the marshmallow, they were significantly better in every measurable category of their life. They were better in school. They were better athletes. They were more prepared. They were even happier overall. They said, huh. Well, they waited another 10 years. They followed up yet once again. And they said, well, let's look at these kids one more time just to see if it was a fluke. They looked at these kids and they discovered that those who had not eaten the marshmallows, that 10%, not only have they gotten promoted faster, they had happier marriages, they were in better health, and they were doing better in every area of their lives. They said, well, wait a minute. This doesn't make any sense. Is this really all about just sugary snacks? They said, no. You know what this is? This represents the ability to go against your default. To not do the thing that you would normally do. Because, you know, of course, you put something we want in front of us. You know, what does our mom always say? Caitlin, eat your food. Kathy, eat your food. Which always freaks me out. I'll say, Mom, why are you calling me Kathy? But at all times, it was, you know, eat your food, eat your food, eat your food. So the first thing that we're taught to do is to do one thing, but it's those of us who are willing to just do something a little bit different. To accept the frustration, not as a problem, but as an opportunity. Those who are willing to do something about it, who actually get more out of life. Folks, I understand that there's no shortage in this room of people who want something better out of your job, out of your life, out of your family, but there is always a shortage of people who are willing to do something about it. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do until you get to do what you want to do.
And it was superb. Unbelievable. Truly remarkable.
Constructing a good day. It's about making sure that everything happens according to the way that you designed it to. The same way that we have a certain system in which we operate with our royalty interest, there's a system that which you can operate within yourself. There's a system by which you can improve your own life, and it starts with one decision. That first decision is to create a success library. The first decision is to start putting things and people in place that will remind you of who you are. Remind you of the great man and great woman that you were created to be. Remind you of the possibilities. That's what success is all about, because success won't give you a finished product. Success only speaks in ideas and opportunities, and the rest is upon you. The rest is upon you. It reminds you to take action on things that are right there in front of you. It reminds you to stop hesitating and putting things off for later that you know are going to benefit you now. It reminds you that you only have today, that yesterday is gone and tomorrow isn't promised. But when you have today, you can maximize the moment. That's what a Success Library does. So back to the story. So my father spoke to me about being in this situation all the time. Because honestly, folks, I never really thought that I was going to be anything. Because I felt like because I didn't have two parents, because we moved around all the time, and I was always a new kid on the block, then I just didn't think I could do anything. And that stayed with me for a big portion of my life. That stayed with me throughout the majority of my life because of the fact that I didn't have a lot to counterbalance some of the things that were, in my opinion, wrong. So because I had a poor self-image, I would get those same inconsistent results that we were just talking about. Well, for me, sometimes I was on top, sometimes I was on the bottom, but it was my father who'd always speak to me. It was my father who'd say things to me that I really needed to hear. It was my father, that man right there, who changed my life. Because when I would do things that were inconsistent, or when I was performing under what he knew was my potential, I remember one time I came in and I told him, Dad, I just don't think I could do it. He always had the same thing that he would say to me at all times. He would say, John, don't ever let me hear you talking bad about yourself. He said this, never let what's on the outside define what's on the inside.